It is the start of a new triathlon season and I'm so excited. Last season went relatively well. It was a hard season for me because of some emotional things that I was facing in my life, and it made training so difficult. I had signed up for 4 different triathlons. One of them was canceled, and one of them I was super sick, so I did not participate. I was pretty disappointed about that, but overall I would say it was successful because I did the other 2, and I just worked hard when my body and my mind were ready to check out. And oftentimes I have a tendency to just like get to a certain point where I think, oh, I'm not going to accomplish it the way that I want to, so I'll just try again next year. And I didn't do that this time. This time I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to accomplish it the way I want to, but I'm going to accomplish it the way that it happens. And the first one was in July. Well, yeah, July. And it was the Rigby Rumble. And I struggled mostly when it got to the run. I was just tired. Makes sense. It's the last part. And I tried to run the whole thing. I did run the whole thing, but I was running slow. And there was someone else who was doing the run, walk method. And she ended up beating me. And so I kind of thought maybe next time I'll try the run, walk method. And yeah, then I did. So the next one I was sick and I didn't do it. And then the second triathlon I did of last year was on September 20th, which is actually my birthday. And I was really happy to be running a triathlon on my birthday. There was actually like nothing else that I would rather do. That day was very difficult from my personal life circumstances, and my mom was gonna come watch, but I ended up needing her to watch my kids. So I went completely alone, and I, typically, like, I don't mind being alone. Like, I'm just kind of a solitary person. So it's not that unusual for me to do things alone. But that particular day, with it being my birthday and with it myself just being generally emotionally, mentally distraught, like, it was kind of heavy to get there and be there for the whole preparation point. I just couldn't really interact with anyone. I just really had to be on my own and try not to be visually upset, because I don't want to be a party pooper, and I didn't really want anybody to ask me what was wrong. And hopefully people, if they saw me upset, they just assumed it was nerves or something. But, I tried to like do some fake warm-ups to get away from the group, like go for a little jog. And that way I could just, cry into the distance without people seeing me. And do some fake stretching to hide my face and things like that. I was very much unprepared for that one. I was not training nearly enough, and I went into it aware of that. I knew that it wasn't going to be my best performance, but I didn't really let that bother me because I really just wanted to do it. I just really wanted to do a triathlon. Like, I just was in the mood, and it kind of was just like, I don't care about everything else. I don't care that I'm unprepared. I don't care that nobody's here to support me. I don't care that, like, this is kind of a crazy decision, like no one else would do it this way. I'm just gonna do it because I want to, and that feels right to me. When I checked in, I told the woman who was checking in that it was my birthday, and she was so happy and supportive, and so that was like really sweet, because I spent most of the day alone. on my birthday, and yeah, so when I was running the race, I was practically last in every category. You know, you start out last, it's kind of hard to catch up. But I mean, I don't think I was the absolute last swimmer, but I think I was maybe second to last. I mean, maybe third to last. I'm not sure. But then the bike, I did see other bikers on the road because they were doing their second lap when I was doing my first. Got passed by everybody. And that's okay. I was at least happy to see people, because after that, like for my whole second lap of the bike, I might have seen one other person, maybe one other racer. I definitely saw the volunteers. But yeah, when I got to the run, there was one person in front of me who was tired and kind of maybe limping, but he was doing a lot of walking, and we were kind of like switching off a little bit. And he finished, and then I went to do my second lap. And I did my whole run, second lap, by myself, and a lot of the volunteers were like, "Are you finally the last one?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I think so." And I was the last one. But once I came across the finish line, you know, this particular woman who signed me in, she just like cheered so bright and happy for me. Just, "Congratulations, happy birthday." And she was telling everybody like it's her birthday today, and people were saying happy birthday, and that was really sweet. And most of the volunteers were taking down stuff and putting things away, getting ready to head out. And then there was another racer who just said good job. And I just like, in that moment, I kind of, it hit me. Like, I'm not a super social person, but we all need community. And maybe not everybody can relate to this, but that's one of the reasons I like triathlon community, is because I feel like I know everyone. I feel like we're all in the same boat, like we understand each other, even though I don't know anyone and nobody understands what I'm going through. I just feel like it's a feeling. It's not a reality, it's just a feeling that we all just care about each other and support each other and want each other to succeed. So that means a lot to me, especially on this particular day when I was feeling very alone and very just like, I was just feeling like my worth was just so low. And you know, when you look at it from the outside, like you could say like, how could you possibly think that? Like, you know, I mentioned to somebody that I got last place, and they said, well, you beat everyone who was sitting on the couch. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, that's kind of stuck with me, because I could have made that choice. I had a legit reason to stay on the couch. And, you know, if I was physically injured, I probably would not have done it. But I was only emotionally injured, and with those emotional injuries, you know, if I was open about them, people would have said, like, you know, you don't have to go out and run a triathlon right now. Like, nobody expects you to do that, and nobody would blame you if you just stay home and chill. But I knew what I needed, and I knew I needed to be out there. I knew that sitting on the couch, you know, waiting it out, not going, wouldn't have been good for me. It just would have like swamped up those feelings. It would have just made them increase. Running, swimming, biking, all of these activities, they're like a form of meditation for me. It helps me process what I'm going through. It helps me process my emotions. And you know, if I had just been sitting on that couch, by the end of the day, I would have been just a puddle. Like, and running that triathlon that day gave me new life. And those people who supported me, they do not know me, and they can't understand how much their support meant to me. it's impossible to explain. And even if I put it into words, like, they wouldn't be able to feel what I felt. And I guess what I'm getting to is, like, a lot of people have struggles with mental health, myself included. And if you don't have mental health problems, or periods or challenges, like, it can be difficult to know, like, how to help, and it can be difficult to understand, like, what mental struggles are like and what you face and what you're going through. And sometimes I know when I talk to people, they want me to come up with a solution for them, like, hey, tell me what I can do to help you, because they're uncomfortable with my state of being, with my state of feeling. And I'm not prepared to tell them how to fix me. And I think that that's not really what's meant to be done anyway. I think we're all better off if we can listen to each other and be there for each other, even when we can't fix it, even when it makes us uncomfortable. And in that moment, what those racers did was so small, and to them, they probably don't even remember doing it. Probably wasn't a big deal, but it made all the difference for me that day. It made a huge difference. I didn't feel so alone. I didn't feel so insignificant. I didn't feel so foolish. I didn't feel so worthless. It was a bright reminder that life is beautiful and we all face challenges, and when you're working hard, you're accomplishing something. Whether you get first place, second place, last place, no matter what the results are, hopefully you don't get injured. But even that, there's probably a lesson that comes out of that. There's some kind of experience that comes out of that was needed. But I just feel like I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for the sport, and I'm grateful for the athletes, and I'm gonna keep racing, and I want to inspire other people to race as well, because I might get last every time. And if I do, I'll still keep racing because of the change I've noticed that it's had on my life, and the effect that it's had on my mind and on my spirit and on my life. So stay tuned for this season. I have 4 races coming up. 3, because one of them got canceled, which I'm trying to decide how to do something else. Like, I might do a 10K that month instead in June. My race in June got canceled, but I might do a 10K instead. So just a run, chill run. I hope that you consider finding a sport and practicing it in a healthy way, and making friends and meeting people that encourage you and inspire you.